We are grateful to have you, sir. The team of Lex Acquire welcomes you. Next, we have with us Professor SZH Zaidi, sir, Director, Amity Institute of Behavioral and Allied Sciences, Amity University, Uttar. Sir is a licensed clinical psychologist with 42 years of experience in teaching and clinical practice in India and Scotland. He has been a faculty of CIP Ranchi and visiting faculty of Mumbai University, Tata Institute of Social Sciences Mumbai, and many other national institutes. He has been appointed as a member of Zonal Coordination Committee of Rehabilitation Council of India, New Delhi, for Central Zone. Sir has received National Award in Empowerment of Persons with Disability and C.S. Kang Oration Award for his contribution in promotion of clinical psychology in India. We are honored to have you, sir. The team of Lexiquire welcomes you. Now, I request Professor Zaidi, sir, to kindly address the gathering.
Good afternoon, everybody. My senior colleague, Professor Yadav, and the host of this program. Whether my voice is clear to you? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible to us.
Yes, sir. Yes. So, good afternoon, everybody. I've been asked to speak about the mental health issues of accommodatians. I personally feel that instead of focusing a particular group, a particular folk, or a particular profession, let's talk about mental health in general. And that is why I have given a broader portion of my talk to this general issue. Specifically, I would be talking something about the teachers and students because of the present scenario. But teachers or students are no way different than the general population, and their issues and their problems are almost the same. As we get fever, is teacher also getting fever, the students also taking fever. If the mosquito bite is there, whoever is the victim, he will have some reactions to this. So mental health issues is such that to label a particular folk may not be very appropriate, particularly when it is a awareness issue and the general population, the community is involved today. So I would be speaking in general. Now let's see that what WHO has defined about the health. It is a very popular definition. It is becoming popular day by day as we are getting awareness about the different component of which is responsible for the health. Health is a state of physical, psychological, and social well-being, and not only absence of disease or symptoms. And what about mental health? Because when the mental health, if you see, go back to the previous slides, it is a psychological and social well-being. It means that mental health is another component, very important component of the whole health process. Now let's talk what is mental health or psychological well-being. A state of well-being in which every individual realizes, I bolded some important words and for you to understand, realizes his her own potential. Many of us are not aware of our own potentials. Sometimes we underrate ourselves and then we feel frustration. Sometimes we overrate ourselves and then we feel frustration. In both the conditions, understanding of the self, knowing about the self, you stand before the mirror not for any other purpose, just to know how you look like, what is your state, what is your condition as on date, and that will give a lot of solace that how am I look like. Otherwise we are just, if mirror is not there, we are just to imagine, we are just hypothesizing that I may be like this, I may not be like this, and that accordingly we are reacting. But if we stand before the mirror, we'll get the real picture of it, and this is the realization of self potential. Can cope with normal stresses. Can cope means that can fight back, can understand, can stand for, can meet out normal stresses. I mean, the stress which everybody may have it, because the life is full of stresses. You cannot visualize a condition when you do not have any stress, but everybody do not react very seriously. If you have to catch the train and the traffic is jammed, it is every very normal stress, and everybody should react to this. Should start thinking that whether you will get the train or not, And if you will not get trained, what should be the other alternative plan? So, and if there is no such a stress, it is something very abnormal. So it is capacity of coping up normal stress of life. Of life means that everywhere, this, whether it is a personal life, whether it is a social life, whether it is economic conditions, whether it is a professional life, whether interaction with the children, interaction with the family members, elders, policy, whoever is there. So the interaction, whenever there is interaction, there is likely to be a stress. Whenever there is this in a target, there is likely to be a stress. So these are coping normal stress. Can work productively. In spite of these stresses, he may continue work efficiently and productively and is able to make contribution to his own community. And he should be physically and mentally, much more than mentally, alert and productive and contributory to the society, to the individual, to the community from which he belongs to. And here, see, this is the state of well-being. From within, well-being comes from within. Psychological satisfaction should come from within. It is not a chemical satisfaction. It is not a chemical well-being that you take drugs, whether it is a mood elevator or speed drugs or for anything, alcohol and all these things, you feel very euphoric, you feel very happy. That is not the mental health. That is not the well-being. Here is the well-being. See the age, see the physical conditions and how affectionate, how close they are, and how glazy their faces are, and they are feeling happy from within. And this is the age. Age has no bar to be happy. Age has no bar to be mentally healthy. And see the reverse to this. Everything is there. Facility. It looks like that the person is a lady, is a well-off family, but see her face, see her eyes, see her expression. She is feeling sorrow, maybe for no reason, maybe some reasons. But the ultimate of she is not feeling well-being. What are the indicators now? And this is, as I told you, that I'm not speaking only for teachers. Teachers are also one of the important, but it's for everybody. It's for a student, it's for the teacher, it's for the parents. It may be for anyone. That what are the indicators of psychological well-being? This condition usually do not come from just like that overnight, and neither condition. It is acquired. You have to work for it. You have to be very alert to notice this thing. It is particular, this condition would not come just like that. It is a destination, not the journey. Journey start from this point. When you are feeling absolutely well, feeling well, what are the indicators of psychological well-being? Feeling well. From within you are feeling happy. For no reason, but you are feeling happy. Sleeping well. You are getting proper sleep. Not getting proper sleep for continuously for a week or 10 days. It's not that only one day, if you are not getting sleep, you start feeling very sad that what happened. Sir has told that sleeping well is the indicator, or the feeling well is the indicator. Because you are not a machine. Even machine fluctuates with the change of voltage, with the change of supply. And if the machine is also working for hours together, it would start producing reducing its production. So continuously, if one is working, tiredness is a different thing. Feeling boredom is a different thing. So feeling well, sleeping well, and eating well. If you are eating well, if you are eating as per your desire, as per continuously, कहते हैं ना कि मन अच्छा तो सूखी रोटी भी बिरयानी लगती है, सूखा चावल भी बिरयानी लगता है अगर मन अच्छा है. So if you are not eating well, it is the earliest indications. Doing well, if you're in spite of all these things, in spite of your very busy schedule, if you're achieving your targets, if you're achieving your desire, if you're doing well, your performance, whether it is your job, whether you are standing the court and doing your bahas, arguments in your court, you are reaching to the dates, you are fresh, you are preparing yourself, it means that you are perfectly all right. It's perfectly all right. But in spite of that, there is no fever, there is no headache, there is no stomach pain, nothing is there. But you are not feeling like doing anything. No, I don't feel like doing anything. Sometimes it happens that he's simply sitting, he's simply lying down on the बिस्तर पर लेटा हुआ है, क्यों नहीं, कुछ अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, I don't feel like doing anything. So your work productivity is very important. Playing well means that it is particularly for the children or for the adolescents. अगर किसी बच्चे को आप किसी डॉक्टर के पास ले जाएं तो उसका पहला सवाल ये रहता है कि आप कहते हैं डॉक्टर साहब इसको बुखार उखार है, वो खाता है और खेलता है. दीज आर टू इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन दे आर ऑलवेज आस्क्ड. अगर वो खा रहा है, नो इशू. टिल ही इज प्लेइंग, देयर इज नो इशू. And meeting well, if he is interacting with, if you are interacting with your friends, with your relatives, with your clients, with your people, public, strangers, particularly if strangers, जिसका कि मिलना आपके लिए कंपल्सन नहीं है. आपको अपने पेरेंट्स से मिलना कंपल्शन है, आपको अपने घर वालों से मिलना कंपल्शन है, मगर जिससे आपका कंपल्शन नहीं है, even if you are meeting well with them, it means that you are keeping good. It is a good indicator, self indicator. And mating well means sex, your sex performance. If is okay, your desire is there. There may be many person, particular student who may not be married, who may not have a direct way of a crude sexual activity, but getting the desire, impulses. If you feel like seeing the opposite sex photograph, feel like seeing something which is sexually provocative, it means that your desires are intact and you are mentally absolutely fit. So these are the indicators. I will again repeat: feeling well, sleeping well, eating well, doing well, playing well, meeting well, and mating well. तो अगर ये चीजें हैं तो it means that the person is having good mental health. अगर इसमें से एक दो चीजें continuously, not only once, that एक दिन आपको ऐसे महसूस हुआ, you start feeling that I'm not keeping well. No, if it has become a continuous process for a week or 10 days or 15 days, then it is an alarming sign. It requires you to consult the professional. Again, that was the indicator of good mental health. Now the warning sign of mental illness are observation based. The first one was, you see that it is self-report, when you yourself will feel. Others may not notice it. You are not feeling well, but still your profession is such that you would go and you will stand on the podium, you will stand on the court and you will do arguments, everything. But from within, you yourself is feeling that you are not. It is self-report system. And here it is obvious, observation. Others are observing you. And that is a 5 warning signs of mental health risk, that a person is going something different. Change in personality. If someone is acting like a very different person, or not acting or feeling like themselves, अगर आपको लगता होगा यार इस आदमी में इतना बदलाव कैसे आ गया, suddenly it is not a changed person. He had been very friendly to you, he had been very helping to you, but suddenly you are noticing that when you went to talk to him and for seeking any assistance and advice, instead of advising, he is irritating, he is abusing, he is shouting at you. Sudden change or gradual change. It could vary from gradual change to the sudden change. Change in personality and overall behavior. Number 2, unexplained anxiety, anger, and moodiness. Unexplained. Nowadays, COVID, absolutely everybody is anxious. Everybody is now irritated as well. Angry is also key. What hell we have done? Why we have been confined to this, and how long we will be suffering all these things. So today's the scenario is absolutely mood changes. Sometimes you feel happy. Sometimes when जब आपने न्यूज़ सुन लिया, जब आपने कहीं WhatsApp आ गया, उल्टी सीधी न्यूज़ आ गई, कुछ फिगर्स आ गए, कुछ डाटा आ गया, mood has suddenly changed. So it is explained. But it's sometimes, many times you feel that for no reason the person is anxious. For no reason, person is angry. For no reason, person is changing their mood fluctuations there. So this is something high risk case, and that can be observed because all these things are based on observation. Social withdrawal and isolations. There is a family get together, everybody is interacting. You might be sitting but not taking any interest. You might be sitting but not talking to anybody, or to the extent you are confining to the room, you are isolated. You are not going to meet your friends living the next door. There is some tragedy. Everybody is going. Everybody is sharing their sorrow and happiness. You are isolated to your room. Lack of self-care are risky behaviors. Self-care. Don't feel like washing yourself. Don't feel like shaving yourself. Don't feel like changing your clothes. Not only once, it happens. Saturday, Sunday, usually it happens that if 5 days, 6 days working, very hectic working, Sunday is usually late getting up और लोग शेव नहीं करते, नहाने की भी थोड़ा अवॉइड करते हैं if possible, देर से नहाते हैं, फटाल they take bath. So that is not the lacking of self-care, but usually regularly and continuously, if there is self-care or risky behavior, they are behaving such a way that could have harmed him, and these are the behavior. A sense of hopelessness or feeling overwhelmed. अगर आप उनसे पूछें कि भाई how do you feel, what is going on, why you are not meeting, so he will feel that what is the use of living, what is the condition, absolutely there is no hope, I'm not seeing any ray of hope, and feeling overwhelmed. And not only that, he's saying he's a tearful, he is showing his emotions, he's showing his anger, he's a weeping, he's cryful, he's feel like this. So these are the behavior, these are the changes which is observable change. First I gave that which is self-report, and this is the condition is observable conditions. Some eye-opening facts about the mental health. The subject of mental illness is still by and large a taboo topic for several Indians. Very unfortunate part. And I would request all my young activists who has formulated this group and who has organized this group, please share the reality of life, that mental health is not, mental condition is not taboo. It is just like that any person can suffer the disease. It is yet another disease, and it can be a curable disease, and I will discuss this thing. WHO estimated that globally over 450 million people suffer from mental disorder by one way or the other. Currently, mental health and behavioral disorders account of about 12% of the global burden disease, and it's likely to increase 15% by 2020. About 2 years back, when I collected this information about 2 years back, that time the international figure was 12%. It was expected that by 2020 it would be 15%, and this is 20. And I would say because of COVID, the stress and stress-related mental health issues has increased definitely more than 15%. Our Honorable President of India, while giving the convocation address to the National Institute of Mental Health, Bangalore, 2 years back, he said that we are going to have an epidemic of mental disorders, mental issues, and we have to handle on the war footing. And we are passing through almost the same condition. It is 2020, and the cases of anxiety, depression, and uncertainty is increased like anything. Mental illness are all amongst the most common ailment, and yet are the least understood. This gives way to many misconceptions, resulting in misgiving or insensitive attitude. Unfortunately, mental illness is because it is not showing, the person is not bleeding, the person is not trembling with the weakness, or the person is not sweating with the fever. It is misunderstood, and it is not giving as important as it should be. And rather, it has become sometimes a matter of criticism. Is people criticize the person who behaves in a funny manner instead of extending the helping hand. because the misconception attached to that. A study reported in WHO conducted for National Care of Medical Health states that at least 6.5 of Indian population suffers from some form of this serious mental disorders with no discernible rural-urban differences. WHO has reported that Indian population is having 6.5% population and without any difference in rural and urban area. Now, common myth associated with mental illness. I am running fast because my what mental health is. The number one myth, psychiatric disorders are personal weakness or a personality flaw. It is not a disease, it is a badmashi in short. It is a weakness of personality, it is the problem of a structure or personality. Patient mostly do acting of the illness. Behrupiya, if somebody is behaving, if somebody is moving on the road with the dirty clothes, the very common thing या तो ये जासूस है और ये बहुरूपिया है और ये बदमाशी कर रहा है. This is the common reaction society address the our society and deal with the situations. Mental health disorders deserving special attention affect very few people. And this is again very unfortunate part that people think that very few person who needs a special care. Otherwise, they ये लोट पोट के अपने से उठ बैठ के अपने से रोग आके अपने से ठीक हो जाएंगे. They may not require anything. A very special attention बहुत कम लोगों की इसकी आवश्यकता होती है. Another myth is once a psychiatric patient, always a psychiatric patient. Nobody said that once a sneezing, once an allergic patient, always allergic patient. Nobody said once a diarrhea patient, always a diarrhea patient. Nobody said once a fever case, always a fever case. But unfortunately, with mental health, once a psychiatric patient, always a psychiatric patient. He would never get rid of the label or the stigma or this status of being psychiatric ill. Another myth, children do not suffer from psychiatric illness. बच्चे तो मस्त रहते हैं, बच्चों को क्या mental disorder? It is absolutely wrong. Children also feel lot of mental agony, mental stress, and to the extent that they have started showing a clear-cut picture of anxiety, panic, depression, and started attempting suicide. And there are some cases when the children have attempted successful suicide. Very unfortunate, because they were ignored. They were scolded that if they are not studying properly in the school, their deterioration in performance has not been linked with their mental state. It has been linked with their bad conduct, bad behavior. And both teacher as well as parents have ignored them, and problem multiplied like anything. Another issue is mental health disorders are a result of bad parenting. It is sometimes nowadays, particularly in the so-called modern family, when the parenting and impact of parenting is considered, people start thinking that is the result of bad parenting, and instead of taking care of the child, people start cursing the parents, particularly in the joint family, particularly in the family where the nuclear family, both the conditions, when their in-laws and the saas, ससुर and all these things are there, the सब आई गई बच्चे के पेरेंट्स पर्टिकुलर मदर के ऊपर पड़ती है कि तुमने बिगाड़ दिया, तुम्हारे लाड प्यार ने बिगाड़ दिया, देखो ये ऐसे करता है, देखो वैसे करता है, he is not taking food, he is not studying properly, it is all because of it is a bad parenting. Mental illness are contagious. ये छूत की बीमारी है. It is infective disease. Not at all. Not even a single. There is only one condition, which is very rare condition, and cultural bound syndrome, where some misbeliefs, there is no time to discuss all these things, some misbeliefs, which is commonly known as the delusions, are shared in the family. That the whole family is thinking that it has happened. It has happened. And it has happened in Indian society also. Years back, there was a rumor, there was a misbelief कि गणेश जी दूध पी रहे हैं. द एंटायर इंडिया वॉज, और कहीं मुआवजा हो गया, किसी मजार पर ऐसा हो गया, द एंटायर पब्लिक इज रनिंग फॉर दैट. एंड द भीड़ लग गई मजार के ऊपर मौलवी साहब को, और वहाँ के जो खादिम है उनको ऊपर लाखों रुपया चढ़ा दिया कि वहाँ के ऊपर कुछ समथिंग हैज हैपेंड, without realizing, without verifying the issues. And the entire society and that people are fully aware. Lucknow itself condition that anybody who would be touched on the ground, he will convert into the stone. These type of things, and people refused, entire family refused to get down from the bed out of fear. The moment they will touch their feet on the ground, they will convert it into the stone. So these are the conditions, these are the belief thinking process which may be shared temporarily, hysterically, temporarily, for some time, and within a few semi-literate or immature family or backward type of people, less intellectual people. But there is nothing like that it is contagious or it is like infectious disease. Then attempting suicide is a sign of cowardliness. No, attempting suicide is a serious mental illness. And it is not a coward, it is not a sin. It is a symptom, not the sin. What is prevention? How it can be prevented? Prevention is the mental health aims to reduce the incidence, prevalence, and recurrence of mental health disorders and their associated disability. There is an entire specialty of mental health, that is the mental hygiene. I cannot talk about that. The only thing that the science which helps you to prevent illness, just like that, the frequent hand washing is the prevention of the COVID right now. Taking fresh water, taking neat and hot food is the prevention for diarrhea and dysentery and cholera. So that way, a number of procedures to prevent mental illness as well. Preventive interventions are based on modifying risk exposures and strengthening the coping mechanism of the individual. Now come to the main issue. What are likely risk factors for developing a mental health problem? And here I would like to invite the attention of all my viewers that these are the conditions which you should properly, and particularly in the present scenario, you should think in. The one is the genetic factors. Some of the mental illness are genetically transfers. It has certain genetic factors, but every person who has received a COVID, genetic factors are not mentally ill. They are high risk case. There are no doubt about it. They are predisposed. There are two conditions: predisposing factors and precipitating factors. They are predisposed. They are magnet, but that to attract anything, the iron has to be there. So magnet itself is not an attraction, but it would attract when the iron would be there. It would never attract aluminum. So genetic factor may be there. It is a high risk factor, but if the life is passing through without much stress, life is passing through without much trauma or without many precipitating factors, it is unlikely that even the genetic transference is there, the person would become mentally ill. No, not likely, but definitely there are high risk factors. Environmental issues, pre and postnatal, particularly the childbirth, before the childbirth and after childbirth, is a very important issue which is high risk. Social risk, social factors. A lot and hours together can be spoken about this, that social taboos, social norms, social distance, not social distance which we are talking about, the COVID social distance, the real social distance. When you don't have, you talk a lot about the equality, you talk a lot about the uniformity, but in your real life situation, you maintain the distance. To whom you can keep the distance relation of the roti or beti. This is a very simple thing. To whom you would interact, to whom you will share you will give your daughter and you will take the daughter, to whom you would like to eat together, to whom you would like to interact together. So these are the social risks. These are the issues which is still continuing, and these are the issues which is highly high risk case social trauma. Trauma is not that the accident has taken place. Trauma is not that the risk that the some violence has taken place. That was an incident that has happened. But the after effect of that, the person is traumatized. First day he was only a wounded person. He was only injured person. But thereafter he is a traumatized person. The one to whom I have been living for years together has burned my house. The, the one who to whom I have been going to school tried to stab me, tried to loot me, tried to loot my shop because of communal reasons, because of social reasons, because of personal reasons. And that is the trauma, and that is the traumatized person. And this trauma plays a very, very serious high risk factors. Insufficient stimulations. You are confined to one of the reasons that why the present condition is creating stress to the person. Why it should have stress? You are living in the safe environment. You are living in the house. You are living with the bed most of the time. The one who is not working online like us, the one who is not going for any job, he should feel comfortable, happy. Yes, it was few weeks. Initial few weeks were quite relieving because there were a lot of bhagam bhag or lamba and competition or running about and all this thing. It was a good relief for a 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month or two. Now it is becoming a serious mental health issues because of insufficient stimulation. You are not interacting, you are not going to the market, you are not getting food from outside, you are not eating outside, because all these things, after all, you were taking food at your own home also, but still we wanted to go to the restaurant because of the aesthetic reason, because the population, because of the elite group who had been visiting the friends and the circle and all these things. So insufficient stimulation, and that starts from the childhood itself. If the child is left in insufficient stimulated conditions, he would mentally subnormal, he would become very isolated. His vocabulary will not develop. And I have made it bold. General advice, adversity and stressful life events. I'll explain by the next slides. And drug abuse. Drug abuse and other conditions which are likely to create mental health problem, because there are many diseases, ganja psychosis, drug abuse psychosis, alcoholic conditions. There are many conditions, charas. All these conditions are very prompt causative factor for mental illness. Now, general adversity and stressful life events. Now, here lies academic scenario caused by COVID-19, and where both the conditions, teachers as well as the students, are involved and affected. Shifting to 100% online. We were googling before also. The students were getting the online supports before also, but it was partial. It was a partial. 100% online is now stressful conditions. And uncertainty. You really do not know to what extent, up to which date it will continue. And expectation of students towards teacher and teachers towards students and the parents and all this thing is still the same. Without realizing the methodology, without realizing the conditions, there is no change in expectations. We are anxious only because our parents are expecting that I will get 99.9% marks, and if I will not get, my life is no purpose. So that expectation is still there. Expectation of employer, expectation of society, expectation of government, expectation of teachers, expectation of the owners. They are all there the same. And technological barriers. Everything today I'm showing a PPT in altogether different technology. Yesterday I had a program where I was using Zoom. Prior to that, MS Team. Prior to that, Cisco, and so many technology. I have to practically negotiate every lecture with the new technology. So it is quite stressful. It's not that it's so easy. It is quite stressful because it has to be done within a time limit. That time is another stressful situation. All these things, expectation and technology, would become comparatively ease if there is a no time limit. Here I have to finish everything's time limit, and the technology is increasing, changing it day and day. The another thing which is meeting out ethical challenges, inequality. Every student to whom a teacher is teaching is not equal. It is the reality of life. We may speak anything, equality, 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 but it's a myth. The reality is inequality. No two person are equal. When the God has not made two five fingers equal, then how can we expect society will keep two person equal? Inequality is the reality, and we have to address everyone accordingly, and they are not equal. They are not equal with the facilities, they are not equal with the technology, they are not equal. Somebody is not getting electricity supply at all, and we are talking about the entire examination should be done by MS Team or by a particular technology. How it is possible? We have to take care of that also. Socially nurtured platform for education. From the childhood we have been teaching, we have been learning from face to face, where the Guru Chela relations, where the darshan of Guruji and the Guruji's guidance and the facial expression of Guruji is getting feedback to the students, and students feedback to your. Right now I'm not seeing your faces, so there is a serious gap whether my lecture is appreciated or not socially, because we have been interacting face to face. In fact, speaker doesn't speak, it is a listener who makes him speak. स्पीकर खुद कुछ नहीं बोलता, उतना नहीं बोलता जितना कि लिसनर उसको बुलवाता है. उसके क्वालिटी ऑफ स्पीच, क्वालिटी ऑफ डिस्कशन would depend upon the facial expression, the feedback which he gets from the society, the population, and from the students. Disadvantages plus. Beg pardon?
No, no. Yes, sir. Sir, we are continuously listening of such a great
Yes.
speech that you are giving, sir. So, sir, please.
Okay. Acha feedback. Thank you very much. Thank you. So disadvantage
Sir,
condition.
have. Yes, sir, please.
Again, there is a echoing condition. It was I think somebody has opened the mic, that is creating. Now it is okay. Disadvantages conditions. I mean, we have a population, we have inclusive education where some hearing impaired person are there, some visually impaired person are there, some person with the low intellectual levels, and every student require a different autistic child, learning disability child. Every student require a special one-to-one teachers and taught supervisions, mentoring, which is not available right now, and this is creating a lot of ethical changes. I am teaching to somebody without realizing whether the person is getting something out of it or not. So it is again an ethical challenge that whether what I am teaching students are listening it or not. Breach of confidentiality. It is a very important thing that what teacher is teaching, only his student, authorized student is listening, or somebody else is listening. Right now, when you are teaching the entire family members online, the entire family members sitting next along with the student, what you are teaching, who is recording your messages, what way your message is being coded, miscoded, all these things is the breach of confidentiality, which is again an ethical challenge. Privacy protection, the same way. A digital conversation, it is emotional less conversations. In the chat, there is way of you convey your message to the chat. Yash has very kindly have said that, sir, you are speaking very well, we are listening. He could have, and I got a lot of solace, satisfaction that my own person has, the listener has gave me a good, and with a good expression that, sir, what you are saying, I'm listening you. This could have been on the chat without any emotion attached to this. So this is again an stress. digital conversation, intellectual rights and ownership of the content. PPT has been shared. Everybody is taking PPT. It is your work. It is your intellectual right. It is your own content. Why anybody should take without any legal permissions? But you have no other options but to share, and which is ethical, which is unethical, which is again a stressful situation. And the thing is next is significant impact on, and all these things, all these stresses which is of ethical natures are causing a very big question mark overall quality of education. Whether whatever we are teaching, we are maintaining the same quality of teaching, as students are getting the same way, students are expecting the same which they wanted to. It is both the ways. Teachers अपना सब कुछ, they are performing their best, but they are being rated as, वो बात नहीं आई, डेफिनेटली वो बात नहीं आ सकती, क्योंकि in one-to-one relations and digital expression are a different thing. One-to-one relation, digital expression is different thing. And with this way, moral of faculties is reducing. By and large, if you ask any faculty, are you satisfied with your performance? I am satisfied. Whether the students are also satisfied or not, that is a big question mark. So all these things, whether the guardian parents are satisfied, it is a good big question mark, because nowadays education is an investment. It is not only a charity. It is an investment. The very huge fees are being offered to school, universities and colleges. So the guardians has certain expectations. So an ethical person must, अगर कोई व्यक्ति है, must student उसको least bothered, which is very rare. But by and large, it is a serious stress which may cause an anxiety and depression, that whether the quality of education which we are spreading, which we are offering in spite of best efforts, is been acceptable, it has its value or not. So the quality of the moral of faculty is also disturbed. Now, how to management of this thing? Perhaps the last slide. Self-support. Nowadays, the best way is self-support. There is many techniques, starting from the yoga to mindfulness to the relaxation and all these things. And many facilities, many techniques are available online also. You can, WHO के बहुत सारे इसमें issues हैं. I'll suggest that you can download. It is self-monitored, control. Nothing is very difficult. Or there are a number of online counseling services. My association of clinical psychologists are offering online services. MIT University is offering online services. I keep on getting some calls from even outsider. Our services, MIT University mental health care services, are not only exclusively for the students. Anybody can approach me, approach my faculty members. The second very important thing is communication with near and dear. Please maintain your communication, even if the COVID is there and not COVID is there. We live together, we talk a lot, but we do not communicate. Communication means when we share with emotions, when we share with your happiness, your concern, your worries, without any fear of being laughed. I want to say something, but I'm not very sure. I'm not feeling secure that if I'll share something, I would not be laughed. I will not be fooled of it. Professional support. I've already told you that clinical psychologists, mental health professionals, psychiatrists, they're all working day and night during this stage. And even for the online faculty, online facilities are there, communities are there. Keeping good physical conditions, because if your body is there, good, your mental, both body and mind works together. Though it looks two different things, but it operates together. Promote healthy lifestyle. It's only very leisure and not work will not work. Keep social interactions with the social distance is something very interesting. Everybody is saying that social distance is not required, it's physical distance. social interaction is very important, and multidisciplinary need total push program. Take the support from everyone to whom you can share. And this is how the community can support. And that is why my dear Yesh and all his colleagues has organized this program. So with all the experts, with all the professionals, it is being supported. Though as on date, this so much proximity, so much closeness, holding hand is not advisable, but it is not a holding hand, it is sharing. It is a symbol of sharing, sharing of grief, sharing of happiness, sharing of relief. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your
Thank,
precious words. Now, I'd like to request Professor Dr. J.P. Yadav, sir, to kindly address the gathering.
Thank you, Sushita.
and
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone.
good afternoon, sir.
And
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon,
my
sir.
respected senior colleague, Professor Jayadi sir. I'm very much pleased and privileged that I have listened your thoughts on mental health. It is really a very elaborative and very informative. I thank you to enlighten my knowledge with regard to mental health.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm honored with your comments. Thank you.
With reference to psychological point of view. So, okay, as far as topic of today webinar is concerned, that is mental health of academics, law regulating mental health in India. So the first part is covered by my senior colleagues, Professor Jayadi, very well, and I'm trying to throw some light on the second part, that is law regulating mental health in India. So with this opening note, I want to say that in India, we all know that we are the successor of British legal system. Before Britishers, in India, the law is regulated by the family laws, either of a Muslim law, Islamic laws, or Hindu laws. But after the advent of the Britishers, they give a more modern form of legislative system to Indian territories. The first law which the Britishers enacted in terms of mental health, that was the Lunatic Act 1877. So 1877 was the year in which the first time uh, proper law is legislated by the Britishers for the Indian peoples. These act is actually give us some guidelines for the establishment of the mental asylums. And before that, I want to say that the first time the Britishers consider the mental health or a mental illness may be a problems, and it should be give importance in terms of treatment. So first time they consider that a mental problem or mental illness as a illness, and provide a remedy or provide a treatment to that such types of people. For that, they established the mental asylums and procedure to admit the mental patient. They also define in this act the mental who will be the mental patient, and how they will admit into the mental asylums, and what would be the procedure. With this, the British going on and on, and then in the middle of the 19th century, they realized to improve the legislation which was let down in 1877. In 19th century, they served to the background of leniency legislation is that period of India, and during the public awareness in the first decade of the 20th century, the Indian Leniency Act 1912 was enacted. So there was a long gap between 1877 to 1912. In 1912, the Britishers again passed an act, that is Indian Leniency Act in 1912. And this ILA 1912 gave the guidelines or give some introduction of the psychiatry in India. Before that, there was no provision with regard to psychiatry, and this psychiatry includes so many things in mental health, that is lunatic asylum, known as the mental health. In earlier, which was by the 1877 known as an mental asylum, but by the ILA 1912, it was known as a mental hospital rather than lunatic asylum. So that was a change brought by the ILA 1912. After that, the Second World War took place, and UDHR come into the picture, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which was adopted by the UN Council Assembly. And Indian Psychiatric Society submitted a draft of the Mental Health Bill 1950 to replace the ILA. So that because since 1912 to 1950, there was, almost half of the century have been passed. A reason being that the Indian legal system or Indian legal persons demanded to make a more comprehensive law with regard to mental health. Therefore, they draft a mental health bill 1950, and it is demanded by these peoples to replace the ILA 1912. And in this demand, but there was no cognizance take place by the independent India till 1987. In 1987, there was a act was finally passed, and that was act known as Mental Health Act 1870, 1890, 18, sorry, 1987. So in 1987, the bill was finally passed, the Mental Health Act. So that was the first act of independent India after the adopting of the Indian Constitution to regulate the mental health of the Indian people. Before that, there was no such law to deals with the mental health. And before 1987, there was a provisions with related to the mental health is considered under the Article 21. Under the Article 21, we all know that no person shall be deprived from his life and personal liberty except procedure established by law. So by this Article 21, which is a fundamental right, specifically it is mentioned about the no person shall be deprived from his life and liberty except procedure established by law. So here the first time the word life and personal liberty. So the life and personal liberty include the all type of health, that may be a mental health or physical health or anatomical health or any types of health. And specifically, if you see, the Supreme Court is also laid down in the Parmanand Khatara versus Union of India case that right to health is a fundamental right under Article 21. And that right to health is a fundamental right is also include the mental health of the human being, of the Indian citizen. So in this way, the Supreme Court indirectly include the mental health as a fundamental right under Article 21 by the various cases, which is started by the Parmanand Khatara, and the series is going on. But till then, till Parmanand Khatara or 1987, there was no significant legislation laid down with regard to mental health. However, the previous NDA government led by Honorable Prime Minister Modi in 2017, another act was passed, and that act is Mental Health Care Act 2017. So that act, which is known as a Mental Health Care Act 2017, is a comprehensive, or it is a bible for the mental health people or the mental patients of India across the nation. Now, what the provision included in this, I just briefly discuss. The Mental Health Care Act 2017 has defined mental illness as a substantial disorder of thinking, mood, perceptions, orientation, or memory that grossly impair judgment, behavior capacity to recognize reality, or ability to meet the ordinary demands of the people. So here these are the 3-4 words which are very important. I want to draw your attention on these words, because the Mental Health Care Act categorically included a mental illness. And what sort of a mental illness? And what should be the disorder? That disorder of thinking, mood, perception, orientation, and memory. And these all terms are very beautifully, very diligently explained by my senior clerk, Professor Zaidi sir. Sir, whatever said, that is not maybe a legal aspect, but these are now a legal part or an illegal element and recognized by the member of parliament, recognized by our law-making authority under the head of Mental Health Care Act 2017. So now, what the rights which are covered by under Care Act of 2017, I just mentioned. I'm not going to detail on the mood, perception, orientation, or memory, because these four terms are already very diligently, very elaborately discussed by my senior colleagues. So therefore, and I also know that we are exceed the time limit, because Yashwant, maybe the our lecture time is 3 to 4, and we have already running late. But I just try to summarize my lecture in a very short.
Yes, sir, please.
So under the Mental Health Care Act 2017, these are the 9 rights which are categorically included. Number 1, right to make and advance directives, right to access healthcare services, right to free of cost healthcare services, right to live in community, right to protection from cruel, human and degrading treatments, right to equality and non-discrimination, right to information, right to legal aid and complaint, and right to enter into a contract. So these are the 5 rights which are included or which are incorporated under the Mental Health Care Act 2017, apart from various provision which is under the Indian Constitution, Article 21. And this is all about. And apart from this, there are so many laws. Being a student of law, you may be aware, and I also, there are some exemptions given by various law in criminal liability under section 84 of the IPC. We all know that that if an act done by a person who is unsoundness of mind, he cannot be held liable. In the similarly in a commercial law, under a person who is insane mind, or in during the insanity or during the unsound mind, if any person made an agreement, then that agreement is void. The similar provision is also act in Hindu Marriage Act 1955. So there are so many provisions which exempted to the mental mental non-healthy person, or we can say unsound person. So apart from this legal provisions, I just want to tell you, I just supplement whatever the Professor Jaideep said with his due permission, that you see there is a 2 types of society in our nation. One is a rural society, and another one is urban society. Urban peoples have a lot of myths, as elaborated by Professor Jaideep. But I also belongs to Blaze, so I know the rural areas background. The peoples who are suffering from mental health or a mental illness, they are considered at and in rural areas, or in particularly in villages, कि वो हवा का असर हो गया है, और इसको हवा हो गई है, इसको भूत का असर हो गया है, और इसको झाड़ झाड़ वाले पास ले जाओ, और इसको ओझा के पास ले जाओ. तो आज भी कहीं ना कहीं गांव में इस तरह की जो चीजें हैं वो बहुत ही प्रचुर मात्रा में पाई जाती हैं, कि जो मेंटल हेल्थ है उसको भूत प्रेत का चक्कर समझकर ट्रीटमेंट किया जाता है, चाहे भले ही वो कितना ही मेंटली या मानसिक रूप से बीमार हो. तो कहीं ना कहीं एक इस चीज की आवश्यकता है कि मेंटल हेल्थ को लेके जो मिथ हैं, जो टैबूज हैं, उसको लेके अवेयरनेस फैलाने की जरूरत है. एंड आई थिंक द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ अवेयरनेस is more needed to the village or the rural areas, because in urban areas even there are so many psychiatrists, so many psychologists, so many clinical psychological hospitals are available. But so far as rural India is concerned, there is a lot of lack, and even the people there is considered as a भूत का छाया है, भूत का असर है, देवी का असर है, और उस तरह से जो है वो बीमारी डे बाय डे बढ़ती जाती है. So I think this is a very very initiative which is taken by my dear students. Yash, I appreciate you, and I thankful that you give me a platform on which I'm able to express my view with regard to mental health. But I just request whenever you again try to organize such type of event, and you keep more time for the speaker, so that the speaker may utilize his vision in without freeness, and can give more time. So with this I just sum up. Thank you the Lex Acquire team, and I especially thank to Yashwant, and I also thankful to Professor Jaideep to accompany me on this platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Your inspiring words always lead us to a better journey.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening words. We have some questions. I would like to put up some questions. We have a question from Swati Gupta. She's asking how far is it ethical challenges have covered in improving the mental health?
To whom she is asking, to a particular speaker, or anybody can reply
Sir,
So it's a question in
Jayati sir, please.
general
in
to
general.
Zeti, sir.
Okay, you see that ethics, there is a difference between rules and ethics. Rules means that in all conditions, on every conditions, it has to be followed. Ethics, situation to situation, conditions to conditions, severity of issues, severity of problems. For example, just to make me, I'll explain to explain you. There is an ethical issue that you should not share any problem you observed and you talk to your gathered from your patient to anybody. It's ethic. If you are sharing any information, it is unethical. But if somebody is expressing continuously a serious suicidal feeling, non-sharing that information is unethical. Sharing this information is ethical. So ethics vary from condition to condition, individual to individual. Specifically, your issue that how far this teaching is all these issues which I have mentioned is ethical. It is a personal perceptions. If you find that whatever you are teaching is perfectly all right, your feeling of your contentment, your happiness, your satisfaction is absolutely ethical. But if I am slightly more concerned about it, to me I would feel that no, I should have better classes, I should give better lecture, I should justify. How can I teach students practical without making them work? So to me, it may be unethical, but if I'm satisfied that my technology is such that I can teach practical even virtual way, I'm perfectly all right at my level. So it varies from situation to situation, from condition to conditions. So this is my reply.
Thank you so much, sir. We have another question from Shiva Singh. He's asking for tips to overcome these problems of mental health during this pandemic situation.
I have given you the management slide. If you remember, the first thing that should be the self-care. Take proper rest, physical rest, proper food, and regulate your timing. Even if you are not going anywhere, you should not get up at 10:30, 11, at 12, and don't take wash and don't take bath. You should absolutely maintain the same routine which you have been maintaining when you were going to college or school or workplace. That will make you a fresh, and maintain basic rituals, and utilize your psychic energy in some constructive way, writing some books, writing articles, writing poem, whatever suits you, because psychic energy has to be utilized, psychic energy has to be properly channelized. You know that during past, even now, the in interviews, person used to ask आपकी hobby क्या है. Habit नहीं कोई पूछता है कोई. Hobby क्या है? Because habit could be good, habit could be bad also. But hobby is always an activity which keeps you constructively busy. So develop an hobby to meet out the situation. And in addition to that, you do some puja, you do some namaz, you should go for yoga, you should read some good material, and this is how. And be hopeful that the situation would improve quick. And if all these things is failing you, then go for professional counseling sessions online available. You can talk to anybody, any counselor, any psychologist. She will help you or he will help you out. Next. Yes, please.
Thank you so much, sir. Next question we have is for JP. The question is by Yash Mishra. He's asking, what are the rights of a person with mental illness?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, and I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so far